16th, 2026. My content is not for everyone, and I say that respectfully. Never give up on yourself when someone doesn't see potential within you, and I say that respectfully. It's not a crime to be authentic. I am my biggest cheerleader. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone, and I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. The fact that you have boundaries when it comes to hold on 1 second. Understand your karma is different when you didn't have to have malicious intentions. They would never understand the hands of time actually heal to go within. Hold on 1 second. They would never understand your mindset when it come to having faith. Hold on 1 second. Being authentic. Being real with your reflection, looking in the mirror. They would never understand how you truly step and fall from hold on 1 second pretending. They would never understand the hands of time when you pray to go within. That hold on 1 second. Your soul was never for sale. Don't keeping it real. Your soul was never for sale when you keeping it real. The devil tried to discourage you, but God was showing you acknowledgement at the end of the day that you are worthy, pouring into yourself when they try to paint you out to be mentally ill. Loving yourself, the better yourself. How God is truly stepping for you. They would never understand your growth is different when you truly got potential, when you fall from a hater. Not ever, Trey. Don't be always be yourself. What practice makes perfect. They would never understand your growth. But never give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully because someone was willing to overlook you. Because they understand, hold on 1 second. You tied your shoe differently and loving yourself, having potential. Fall from a copycat, fall from a hater. Recognizing your reflection. Understand you fall from a hater. Not ever, Jay. I love to say that. Be yourself. Talk your shit out loud. Talk your shit out loud. Yeah. Ever, Trey. Don't be always be yourself. That conversation homeboy was having. Only realized the hold on 1 second, his mindset was truly far from going at the end of the day, bent out of shape with a bad habit. Talking about the end of the day, he got the baddest chick on the block, but he took yours. That's what he said at the end of the day. I got your chick and I ain't sending her back. Yeah, but chick, nobody want that bitch. It be the center thought for me. How chicks and dudes, whatever the case may be, they be making themselves feel so irrelevant because they had your pants when hold on 1 second. I ain't want that piece. Hold on 1 second when it came to that slice of cake. I wasn't trying to get diabetes. No other trade thought for me. Because when someone walks into your life to disrespect you, couldn't treat you right the first time around the end of the day, hold on 1 second, I found my potential. You trying to sneak this me, but I was willing to better me. I found hold on 1 second, my reflection when it come to hold on 1 second. I wasn't my worst enemy. Because dudes and chicks at the end of the day, they feel like they feel like, hold on 1 second, chicks and dudes feel like at the end of the day, because they got your past, someone that you was relating to when it came to conversation. Hold on 1 second. They thought they had a run up on you at the end of the day. But only realize you was truly stepping for you. Understand that, hold on 1 second, you wasn't trying to mislead yourself. We're paid. Hello. Always be yourself, when I say that respectfully. How someone think they got one up on you. But only realize the hold on 1 second, you was far from dysfunctional. Regardless who was trying to paint the narrative at the end of the day. God saw what the evil devil was doing behind closed doors. That shit wasn't fair. But God should allow you to see your growth is different when it comes to your potential. Understand that the air is different when it comes to having faith. They would never understand how you step at the end of the day. Praying, going within, fall from a joke at the end of the day. Hold on 1 second, I'm just getting started. No, ever check on me talking shit. Yeah. Talking shit. I'm my biggest cheerleader, and I say that respectfully. Always be yourself. Nah, for real. Homeboy. No ever trade thought for me. You so bent out of shape at the end of the day. You thought you ran up on somebody when it come to your dysfunctional mindset with your bad habits. You thought that hold on 1 second that you got the baddest chick by your side. Only realize it was nothing but lies. Only realize the hold on 1 second she was misleading you. Hold on 1 second was spoken in a toxic way. Only for you to justify at the end of the day that you had to find yourself because you wasn't trying to catch your case. When you finally woke up and realized the hold on 1 second, I was going through spiritual welfare. Nah, it be the center thought for me. How chicks and dudes will disrespect you. All because at the end of the day, you found your boundaries to understand the end of the day. I ain't need nobody to love me besides show up for myself when it come to my reflection. How chicks and dudes will laugh at you because you big single. But at the end of the day, I wasn't trying to lose me when it come to pointless conversations. We ain't the same. I'm far from hate at the end of the day, regardless of who you fuck at the end of the day. It be the train of thought for me. This the part when they say that you'll crash out. How they use certain words at the end of the day to project you to be a mental case when you was far from that. Hold on 1 second, someone's issue when you wasn't trying to have a heart attack. You know, they disrespect you, watch your every move like a bad habit. When you have to get physical, they try to antagonize you to hold on 1 second, paint you out to be the mental patient. The end day when you need a straight body jacket. When you didn't need the straight body jacket, how it took a cruise of people at the end of the day trying to ruin your reputation because you believed in your faith. Wasn't a mistake. Fall from a delay at the end of the day because God was showing you balance when it comes to hold on 1 second, understand the hope, but then having potential, they would never understand. I wasn't overlooking myself. No, I wasn't. You know, my content is not for everybody. It be those pointless conversations folks be having. They don't understand how you vibing with yourself when it come to your reflection. Self-love is different. You know, motivation, hold on 1 second. You know, I didn't have to dibble and dab with magic or spell work. I was observing at the end of the day when God was showing me better to better my worth. I understood the pray to go within. Hold on 1 second. I wasn't trying to lose my mindset when it comes to hold on 1 second. A future to relate to when my past couldn't compete. At the end of the day, when they try to challenge me, only was to hold on 1 second. God closed that door for all the right reasons why God allowed me to see. You know, because someone fumbled you. They didn't know how to respect you. The rejection was God's protection. They would never understand you. Fall from a hater, but they didn't have to get physical. Fall from someone's fool at the end of the day. Even when they try to ruin your reputation, but you truly step it for yourself, it wasn't a hesitation. I love myself not to dim my light. I love myself not to dim my light. No, it's the train of thought for me. How this type of stuff actually happens. Holding your own weight, taking accountability for your actions. I ain't talking about narcotics even on your rainy day. It be the trend of thought for me how folks don't want you to be awake. You know when it come to your third eye, when it come to the spiritual world, how God would truly reveal the devil on the enemy at the end. They regardless of a dude or a chick at the end. They regardless of their tax bracket with their bad habits. Or because you understood the end of the day. I understood good karma hits different. I understood the end of the day. Regardless of the trial and tribulations I've been through when it comes to trial and tribulations, when it comes to a journey they can relate to, they try to confuse you. No, ever try to all be yourself. You know, that's what happens when the devil is monitoring your every move like a monitoring spirit. They want you to get choked up in your words. They want you to forget. They don't want you to prosper when it comes to elevation. But hold on 1 second, your conscience is different because you understood at the end of the day that you knew that you are worthy. Continue to pour into you. Being patient with time and day, that was truly your gift. They would never understand why you didn't overlook you. You know, always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. You know, my content is not for everyone. I am my biggest cheerleader, and I say that respectfully. You know, loving yourself is not a crime, and I say that respectfully. They don't like the fact that you vibing with yourself when it comes to self-love. They look at you like the joke because you understood boundaries, love. You know, fall from hold on 1 second, piece of T-I-S-H-I-T, whatever the case may be. Because that's what they was calling you at the end of the day when it come to name calling. They said that you were nobody. You was far from hold on 1 second what they was saying at the end of the day because you was God's baby. The energy is different. How God was showing you, why God was stepping for you, allowing you to see why your heart actually beats at the end of the day for your love at the end of the day, to understand your reflection is different. Even when chicks and dudes had to dibble and dab with magic, it be the train of thought for me. How they think it's actually working. Hold on 1 second because hold on 1 second. They didn't see that they plotted this and that, but God revealed the devil led on my enemy. I'm choosing me to become my best self vision of myself. I was far from being my enemy. Now, ever change me, all be yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Now, ever trade thought for me. You know, good karma hits different. They would never understand your honor. Hold on 1 second. I left on good behavior when the devil was worshiping at the end of the day, saying that they was wanting me to be in a monster, being my own prisoner. But God allowed me to see my future at the end of the day because they said, God, we trust, but we didn't pray the same. How God allowed me to elevate to understand my health is different. Hold on 1 second when it comes to understanding why you overcame what you've been through. Loving yourself, you ain't have to get physical. No, ever change, baby. Oh, you be yourself. They watching your every move. They paying a narrative when you have to hold on 1 second, lose you. You found boundaries in a chapter you can relate to. Self-love is different when it come to confidence. Wasn't trying to hurt nobody. They would never understand the hands of time not giving up on you. You know, you got chicks and dudes watching your every move. That LOV hits different when it comes to maturing. You was far from boring. They said that you whacked in your corner, you are nobody. They laughed at your boundaries because you was a homebody. They didn't understand at the end you was always like that when it come to being a popular loner because chicks and dudes is fake at the end of the day. They act like they pour into you at the end of the day when you was far from hold on 1 second, that mindset because you knew how to respect your neighbor, far from pretending. Did I make sense? Because if I did, I don't give a fuck at the end of the day because I'm being myself. Be yourself. It's a center thought for me. Always be yourself. Nah, for real. You know, because karma is different. I'm talking about the good karma, not the bad karma, because you already dealt with that when it come to your trauma. You know, you had to heal certain trauma and pain. You understood that chapter is different when God should allow you to step differently to understand what you overcame. You know, you understood you wasn't running from your past, understanding your reflection when you look in the mirror at the end of the day, how self-love allowed you to feel while your prayers being answered, when you understood that receive at the end of the day, fall from the food when the devil tried to confuse you, the enemy tried to antagonize you, but God was not allowing you to lose you. You know that energy is different. Being your biggest cheerleader, your biggest hype man at the end of the day, regardless of praying on your downfall, they would never understand that. Hold on 1 second. I wasn't competing, but I couldn't compare. No, it'd be the train of thought for me. And that was, hold on 1 second, lack of self-aware. That wasn't within my vein at the end of the day, because God allowed me to see when my third eye was open for all the right reasons. I wasn't trying to shortchange me when it comes to my health. No, and the train of thought me to better my wealth. Always be yourself. Always be yourself, and I say it respectfully. Today is currently January 16th, 2026. And it's not a crime to be yourself, and I say it respectfully. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone, and I say it respectfully. I'm far from a hater. It's not a crime to be authentic, and I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. I would never stop showing up for myself, regardless of what man, woman, child, elderly, couple, whatever the case may be, or elderly person, or couple at the end of the day is praying on my downfall. And I say that respectfully. I'm Naya, genuine respect. I'm far from a hater. No, ever, Jay, always be yourself. Stop the violence.